So this is just a sketch, the first sketch towards a larger piece I'm thinking of doing. I don't know whether it will be on canvas or on paper. This is really just to see how the colours sit together, and the idea of the piece, what I'm looking at is a series of natural, local, mainly local pigments, geological and mineral and botanic, to see how they sit together. I have some burnt umber. The only thing that's not local, that's Italian burnt umber, that's that. Some County Antrim red ochre, which is that. And then inks, I have moss from my garden, peat from my fuel shed, gorse from my garden, nettle from my garden, and dandelion from my garden. I may not use all of them. The moss is not great. It's some the peat is not great, which is some peat we inherited when we bought the house, and it's very dry. But I've enhanced it slightly with some burnt umber, so it's a nice colour. The paper, handmade recycled cotton paper from India. This is my sketchbook. Let's see what happens if we put these colours together. I think actually I will just ever so slightly tilt the board, just so there's a slight gravity thing happening. Just let's see how this goes. Wetting the paper, then drying it off again. So much of my life seems to be doing things, then undoing them. Wet the paper, then dry them off again. Then a layer of stone. A second layer of stone. Then a layer of peat. Moved from mineral to botanic here. You can see the peat is quite pale. Then on top of that, a layer of moss, which is also not hugely successful as an ink, but interesting. Definitely got some interest. I might make some more moss ink and just see if I can make it a little bit greener, and then just a little bit of gorse ink, which is brilliantly yellow. Unfortunately, there's not much left in the bottle. Now, what I'm really looking at is how these colours sit together. I'm going to put a bit of alcohol-based nettle ink into the geological base layer, just to break it up a bit, and some dandelion ink up at the top, because dandelion ink is very interesting. Does all sorts of, can sometimes do all sorts of strange things. There we go, from rock, burnt umber, which is another sort of rock, up to peat, up to moss, up to gorse, with some dandelion thrown in. Now I want that to dry, and I want to see how those colours sit together, whether that's going to be an interesting palette. I could make that red much thicker. I've used a very sort of quite sparingly on the red ochre, partly because I don't have so much of it left. But I could make that much redder or enhance it slightly with a yellow ochre to make it slightly warmer. But let's see how that dries and see how the colours sit together.